Let's talk some wrestling. DVDs, VHS, you know what I mean.
Yeah!
What's going on, gangsters? Movie John here, and I'm about to show you my VHS and DVD collection of my wrestling stuff that I have. Now, about a month or two ago, I showed off, I think, 6 different videos of just VHS in my entire VHS collection, and I didn't show off my wrestling stuff. And the same way with the DVDs, I had a few parts. I think there's like 4 parts of that. If you had not seen them, go back and watch them. It was just movie stuff. Didn't get to show off the wrestling collection. So now I am going to start showing you that stuff too. I don't know if I've shown any of these in updates and stuff over the last probably about a year and a half since I've been collecting stuff like this. But if I have, you can just still talk about it. You know what I mean? This is the best of Saturday night's main event. This is most of these are 3-pack sets, or 3-disc sets, I should say, right there. Now, growing up, man, in the 80s, I loved the main events. They were great. They were on Saturday nights. I think it's like once a month. Back then, they took the place of a Saturday Night Live for one day a month, and you just had great stuff back then. Of course, this has got, you know, Hogan on it. It's got Macho Man. It's got Shawn Michaels, Junkyard Dog, and John Cena on the front. Now, years later, I think it was sometime in the mid 2005, 2006, I think, somewhere around there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they did bring back the main event. But I don't think it lasted too long. But back in the 80s, man, this is when I started first time watching wrestling. Back in like 85, 86, I remember seeing them on there. And one of the very first main events that I remember the most is the build up to WrestleMania III, where they had a battle royal for the main event or whatever, and Andre and Hogan was the first time facing off after starting a feud and everything, and they got to meet in the battle royal. And I just watched that not long ago on YouTube, so yeah, check it out. You can find it on there. But anyway, Saturday night main events, love them. This one me and Rousey just watched the other night. I've had it for probably almost a year. It's the greatest wrestling stars of the 80s. Of course, you got Hogan again, you got Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Sergeant Slaughter on there. These are on 3 discs too. They open up. Talking about all these superstars right here. And opens up a little bit more. So yeah, we watched all 3 of these here in the last 2 days. And got some good stuff on here too to watch. Talks about the, you know, the careers and everything. So yeah, that one's really cool too. And the cool thing is about WWE nowadays, they go back and they put out discs on different other territories that was before, well, not really before the WWF back in the days, but it was competing with them. And this is Legends of the Mid-South Wrestling. Of course, Jake Roberts and Junkyard and Ted DiBiase. Never did watch this stuff, but I remember these guys when they came to the WWF back in the day. But it's cool to go back and watch some of these old wrestling matches. You also had... look like the One-Man Gang, Hacksaw Jim Duncan, and one of the Freebirds on there. I think Michael, P.S. Michael Haynes. I think it's his name, Michael Hayes. Yeah, the Freebirds. Now, I watched wrestling from 85 to about 92. Then I just got out of it and didn't watch it for years. And I flicked by and stuff. And after that, that was, you know, I consider that the golden era for me. But then they had the new generation, and I didn't watch that stuff. That's when Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and stuff started, you know, getting real popular. And Hogan done left and went to the WCW, so did Macho Man and all of them. But after that, they had the Attitude Era, and this is Dawn of the Attitude. I picked this up at Walmart. I probably showed this in an update, probably over a year ago. It's been a while since, you know, I showed it off. But this was the beginning of DX, Stone Cold, really. You know, yeah, Kane and Mankind, and you still had Bret Hart there at the little bit of the last little bit he was there before he went to the WCW too. So it's a 3-disc too, and Nation of Domination, all that stuff. But I started getting back into it about that time too, around 98, because I was married at the time, and my ex-wife had been watching wrestling since she was real little, and she continued to watch it. So she got me back into it for a few years too. So from maybe 98 to maybe 04, 05, I watched wrestling quite a bit back then too. So but it's not like that is today. You know, the Attitude Era was pretty cool too. Next up is the Ultimate Collection, the Ultimate Warrior. Macho Man Randy Savage is my favorite wrestler of all time, but Ultimate Warrior is a close second right behind him. This is basically has him talking about his matches and stuff, and when he started out with Sting as a tag team partner way back in the day, and I never knew nothing about that. Only time I remember him is when he first beat Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 6. I think it was 6. But that was a good one, and he was colorful. That's all it basically is. He'd run around the ring and go crazy. This is a 3-disc set too. Cool stuff there. Sad thing is they inducted the man into the Hall of Fame, and I think within a day or two after that he died, so that was pretty sad. But the Ultimate Warrior is still great to watch every once in a while. WrestleMania III. It's the only WrestleMania that I have. I need to start getting them. But of course, the classic matches. There's so many wrestlers that's dead from this era, man. You just watch this and just count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot of dead wrestlers. Of course, Hogan and Andre was the main event, but the Intercontinental title, everybody knows that, was up for grabs. The Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat, that was a great match too, and a lot of other good stuff in there. But WrestleMania 3 is always going to be my favorite WrestleMania. And this one's called Unreleased, never before seen matches from 86 to 95. So yeah, like I said, I like the wrestling the best from 85 to 92. So this has got a lot of good stuff in it. But the funny thing is, this is like going to a live match. You don't have no commentary, nothing. So it's a little out there, a little different. But it's got some cool superstars from that era and everything. And I remember showing this in an update too. But I'm going to go ahead and start fresh with the collection video here. Show you and everybody else out there. Next up is Randy Macho Man Savage. This is the Ultimate Collection. This come in a big box set, which I have up there. I'm not going to show it off, but it came with a bandana, it came with some glasses, came with a t-shirt that I couldn't wear at the time, so I gave it to my son. But this is one of the discs that was in it. This has got 3-pack too. A lot of these are 3-packs. Also came with this one right here. It's just called the Randy Macho Man Savage Story. This is what the front of the box looks like on the big box that come with it and everything. But this has got a great documentary on the Macho Man. And sadly in 2011 we lost him. But he is my favorite wrestler of all time. And always will be. Beyond the Mat. Yeah, I just recently got this from Freebie. I'm not sure exactly which one. I had 2 different packages at the time from my P.O Box. But it was either Random Mat Videos or Harmonator. One of them sent me this. I can't remember. But I had seen it a long time ago. And it's a documentary basically on Terry Funk and Mankind. And I had a little bit of Jake the Snake in it too and stuff. Kind of sad stuff going on back then with Jake. But hopefully he's recovered from a lot of that stuff. I also have this one, which I haven't got to check out yet. This is called 3 Faces of Foley. This is another freebie that I got. Sorry, I had to itch my nose. Or scratch my nose, itch my nose. How many people say itch my nose? People do say it, don't they? But Faces of Foley, which Dude Love, Mankind, and Cactus Jack. This guy, if you're going to put any people in the top 10 wrestlers of all time, you got to do, this man's got to be in it. Mick Foley is crazy, and he will put his body on the line big time for wrestling, and he did for many years. And he's probably paying for it now where he can't walk. Well, he can walk, but you know what I mean. He's broken down. Turnbuckle Memories. This is another one I got freebie. I haven't got to watch yet, but I will soon watch it. Looks like it's got Dusty Rhodes in it. And Magnum TA, and looks like Blackjack Mulligan up in the top. Also, I did watch this one. This is WWE Legendary Moments. Pretty good. And of course, I had Hogan when he came back. Had The Rock, Stone Cold, DX, Attitude Era. And the last one that is in my collection for the DVDs is Randy Savage Unreleased. I just showed this off. Rhonda picked up for me. Watched some matches, unseen stuff, pretty cool stuff. Facing people that you never had seen face before, because it's called the Unseen Matches. You know what I mean? Now on to the VHS SummerSlam 97. I just picked this up off of Larry at Welcome Back Collectibles. Have yet to watch it. But it's got some cool stuff. I had Stone Cold versus Owen Hart. I think that's the match that he got his neck broke. But I have to check that one out soon. This was a freebie, I believe. The Undertaker. This is probably a bunch of matches with the Undertaker. But this came out back in the days, probably in the late 90s. The Attitude Era, because it's still got WWF up there. Got these from my son from Christmas about 2 or 3 years ago. Mega Slams WCW. Looks like you got Lex Luger and Barry Windham and Ron Simmons and Elegante. Razor Ramon, also Scott Hall. Have yet to watch any of these yet, but I'm sure they got some cool matches in it. And who else could be cool in the mid-90s was Razor Ramon. Also got that from my son. And WCW Greatest Grudges. My son got me this one too for Christmas. Probably almost, it's been about 2 years ago, somewhere around there. WCW Starrcade Battle Bowl. That's kind of hard to say, but it's got the old Sting on it. It's got Ron Simmons on it. It's got Cactus Jack, Ricky Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes. I'm gonna have to really watch this, man. I haven't seen this kind of stuff in a long time. And some of that WCW stuff was pretty cool back in the day. I'm more of a WWF fan, but you know, I still like some of the WCW. This is called Come Get Some. This is the women of the WWF at the time. Sable, Deborah, Terry, and of course that's China on the front of it. And this is Wrestling Vixens. I'm not going to show you the cover too much because it does have stars over the boobies. But anyway, it's got, what's her name? Tammy Lynn Snitch, or whatever her last name was. But I remember her as Sunny. A few other, Missy Hyatt, and a few other ones from back in the days. And I really can't even show you the back of that one. That was a freebie. Too. Also, I got back in the WWF era type. Hell yeah. I did watch this one. This was pretty good. It's got Stone Cold just riding down the road talking about matches and stuff, and it's going into showing the matches and stuff, and his basic feuds and stuff with Vince McMahon and all that stuff back in the Attitude Era, which was a great time in wrestling. Ravishing Rick Rude. This is the Raw. Rick Rude, of course, rest peace. I never really cared a whole lot about Rick Rude. Every once in a while, it was, you know, he was all right, but kind of obnoxious sometimes. But that was a freebie from my son too. And these are these big book box things. These are the collector editions, best of the WWF most unusual matches. And this was a freebie at the time too. Another one's called Best of Heroes and of the Squared Circle. And this one, which is the only one that I've watched so far, Best of Hulkamania. So these are really cool. I guess they probably had a ton of these back in the day when they first came out. But that is the DVD VHS collection of my wrestling stuff. And from now on, you know, if I pick up a few, I don't have a whole lot. But every once in a while, if I get a freebie or just decide to see something I really want to pick up, I'll throwing in my updates or whatever. And that's about it for right now, gangsters. So keep watching some classic wrestling. I don't like his stuff nowadays. I like the classic stuff. Till next time.